stuff and then just go.
There's another dude in a truck that's really good. The Beggars and Thieves. He goes around in a truck.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
He'll pull up and cut your hair right
No,
there.
you just got to find where he's parked at.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's
He
pretty
quit.
neat.
That's his full-time job.
Wow.
That's all he
dude.
does is drive that truck around.
Yeah, that's
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
He
but a
said
good
he quit
haircut,
his old job.
finding a good place to get a haircut is crucial.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other side of it, like finding someone to do your beard, like that's also
Luckily, I have to shave mine every month, so
yeah.
mine's getting shaved next week for drill. So,
Yeah,
but 3 more years.
just done.
We're
Just
gladiator
Duck
mode, dude.
Dynasty.
Never
again.
touch it again.
Mm-hmm.
But
Spartan mode.
that's it. Well, welcome to another episode of Yoders Talk. I am your host, Corey McClendon. And as you can probably see, there's something a little different today. Clinton Yoder, our co-host and leader, is actually gone today. He is up at Master Series, learning, growing, and developing himself so he can come back and then help us be a better team than we already are. And so we're super excited about that. But leaves us with a kind of a unique opportunity to talk about a topic that most organizations face, and even individuals, you face it in your own life and your own work life. And so today I've got joined with two really awesome guests. I got Kirk Hayden with us today, and I've got Jimmy Herndon. So guys, I'm really excited about the conversation, and thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. I think we're going to have a great conversation today. So today we kind of want to talk about when the boss is away, the employees play. And I know that's, even in my professional life, I've not always done great with this. You see a lot of, when the boss walks in the room, all of a sudden everybody's scrambling, trying to look like they're busy and things like that. And I know Jimmy can probably tell you I've done that once or twice before when Jimmy walks in a room. But today we kind of want to talk about what we do to kind of make sure that we have a culture that it doesn't matter who's around. Everyone stays busy, does what they're supposed to do, does their responsibilities, and it doesn't matter if the boss is in Tennessee or halfway across the world or in the next office, that we kind of know what we're supposed to do and we're held accountable to that. So to kind of kick off the conversation, Jimmy, you kind of leading the team down at Yoder Metal, you actually took a day off this week, right? And so you were away from the office, and let's talk to start kind of how you prep your team for when you're not going to be there.
Well, I think, it starts off, usually we have these Monday morning meetings and we go into a reminder of the week. We go over off days. This one so happened to, I kind of let just a couple of people know in-house, hey, look, guys, I'm not going to be here this Wednesday. Got a baby doctor appointment. And, just letting my core guys know that, and they kind of pass that along to the team and stuff like that. But really, I think the biggest thing is, communication right up front, but then the trust along with it. Like, hey guys, I know you guys got it. You guys have proved to me time and time that you've had it. Being vulnerable, and just really just trusting your team. And and I can't say it was easy at first. You catch me 4 years ago trying to pass the ball to my team. It was less trust because of I just the unknown, like not knowing if what they're going to be able to handle and stuff like that. And also, did I make sure this was this way, compared to now I can sit there and I can actually sleep at night. I can be out through the day and know my team can handle some adversity, can handle some problems because I trust them. And I feel like that trust is not just given, sometimes it's like earned. Like my team has earned that. I've seen them through trials, and I've seen the decisions that they've made through trials. And it would have been the same decision for me at times, and maybe sometimes it may have not have been, but the perspective, I'm always like, well, if I was in those shoes, okay, I see why you done that way. Next time, let's try this out, and I feel like intention is everything. I feel like if your intention is good, no matter what decision, whatever happens from that decision, I'm not going to be mad at you for it. And I feel like the two weed each other out. Like if your intention is good, then normally if you do make a mistake, it wasn't the right decision to make, you're willing to, hey, I made that mistake, but I take ownership of it, and I'm willing to pick back up and make it right, and I feel like the ones who have bad intention are, not my problem. So I think the trust is there, accountability.
And that probably took a while to get as well, right? Like, going back to the beginning, what you said, you wasn't always willing to trust once you were away, but you took the time and you built the team. You kind of vetted the guys. It doesn't happen overnight. And you can look at working here through whether Yoders Woodworks or Yoder Metal over the years. It's taken time to vet certain people out that were good for certain positions, and then maybe find their place, move them to another place where they'd be more beneficial. But with you being the leader of that company, the big leader of that company, it's all on you. If something's away and something happens, it all falls on you. So
100%.
extending that trust to be like, hey, you guys got it. But it takes time to build those teams.
Absolutely.
And a lot of vetting too, and moving people around. Even Clinton's talked to me recently about that. With me down here at Yoders too. It's like, it's kind of hard to let go of some things. Like, I think that's just something natural, as something that's yours and you're in charge of, transitioning that over to someone else.
And that was actually going to be my question with you taking over Yoders too. You're kind of moving into that role, and so you're trying to get everything kind of set up like you like it, and also kind of meeting your team, making sure, vetting, and see who can trust. Because I know there's a lot of times that in your role, you're here, and then you got to go over here and handle something, and move over here and handle something. And so your role's a lot of really juggling right now. So how are you handling that so that you can trust your team down there to get done what you need to get done?
Yeah, so we I'm not going to say it's easier for me, but because of my background with the military and the previous jobs I've had, like, I've been in leadership roles before, and not saying it's easy, but especially when you're put in, Yoders 2 just started, so it's like a brand new baby growing up, and Clinton entrusted that into me, and then we hired 2 guys, and like the vetting thing, after a month, one guy already quit, and then we're like, all right, now we only have 1, because we only have 2 employees down there right now, not including myself. So luckily we found another one. He's working out right now, but I mean, it had to happen. His values didn't align with ours.
Right.
He was looking for something else, and just good luck to him and
absolutely.
everything else. But the other guy that stayed, he found us someone else, and Aurelio, he's doing awesome.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of juggling. Like, I'm always down seeing y'all actually at Yoder Metal, getting metal for the shooting houses and chicken coops and everything, and then coming up here and getting wood and supplies. It hasn't really been that difficult for me because I've been in that position, and I'm thankful that Clinton's been available, so I can directly ask him, hey, how you want this and that done. Having that available has definitely helped out a bunch. But then we all make mistakes. And like you said, when the guys down there, there's been several mistakes made on the shooting houses, and you go down there and it wasn't intentional. Like, we're all human, we all make mistakes. And you go down there and fix it, and so far everything that I've told them to fix, they're needed to fix, no more issues.
Yeah.
And they've even pointed out things to me, since I communicate with them so much. We have to communicate actually through an app because their English is not so great.
Right.
So that's been a
There's been
little
a
issue
barrier
there. But he'll even point out stuff to me. He's like, hey, can we do this different? This
Mm-hmm.
will look better, da-da-da. And he's been right every time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited, and it's growing and growing.
So, and then also let's look at it the other side. Both of you guys are underneath the leadership of Clinton. So this week with him being gone, there's also been a little pressure on y'all that, you know, to make sure that your responsibilities are done, and when he comes back on Monday, I know he's going to be fired up and excited that when y'all do have y'all's one-on-ones, that you're like, hey, everything was handled. It was just a normal week. So talk to me a little bit about that, about also being over people, but also at the same time being under someone and having that responsibility.
You know, I think, I mean, a big thing is integrity. Like, Clinton wouldn't have put us in these positions if he didn't already vet and know that he could trust us to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And integrity, doing the right thing when no one's looking.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's number one.
I like that. I like that a lot. And integrity, our core values, I think is everything we've kind of built. It's basically this box. I'm sure you guys went over this on the podcast. I think you guys have, but we've got these core values, and just a little box we work inside of. We got integrity, family, faith, teamwork, and quality. And if my guys can stay inside those boxes, and I think Clinton, you know, trust us enough that we can stay inside those boxes of operations, then even if we do make a mistake or we make a decision that may not have been the decision he made, he always is like, well, hey, you know, same scenario where, and a lot of this, guys, a lot of my leadership, matter of fact, it all came from the top. You know, it came from Clinton. The leader he's been to me has allowed me to be that type of leader for my team. And so, yeah, I think the core values, I think what it is, we went over core values so many times that it's like it's embedded. It's part of our DNA, and he knows that. And don't get me wrong, I really feel like it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you know, I feel like on here maybe we can, I don't hope we don't mislead anybody, but it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's not perfect at all. There's problems, there's mistakes, there's things that happen, there's real world scenarios.
We're just people.
We're just people, man.
And that foundation, though, what's great about the core values is not only we implemented those, but there's also accountability to them now that I've seen since I recently got back. I just got back this summer. And the difference in the company that I've seen from working here back in 2015, and hearing out through deployments and stuff, it works.
Yeah.
That foundation of core values, but not only just saying, hey, because a lot of companies out there, I feel like, hey, this is our ethos, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And they put it on a poster and it sits in a break room somewhere, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about it. I don't think we go one day without hearing something about one of them.
No, I mean it's constant, and I can kind of talk from the side of being underneath you, and there's a lot of days that, like when your wife just had the baby, Noah. You know, you were gone for a week, and you know, you pulled me to the side and was like, hey, you know, I'm relying on you to handle things while I'm gone. And the biggest thing that you tell me is, hey, you stay inside those core values, we're not going to have a problem. And it's, to me, it's reassuring to know that, okay, if as long as I stay in here, I make decisions off of these core values, then I'm going to be okay at the end of the day. And so I appreciate that as someone that's underneath you guys, that we do talk about that a lot. It's something that, you know, I've just been going through phone interviews with trying to hire an accountant down at Yoder Metal, and that's something I bring up in every interview. I tell people our core values, because if one of our core values doesn't really jive for them, then it's probably not going to work out for them inside of the company, and that's okay that they don't. It's just that this is who we are, and truly who we are, kind of what we feel like we're supposed to be doing.
And we're a faith-based
Yeah.
organization, and
Mhm.
I think that's where all the, let's say, it goes without saying that you're going to have guys make mistakes. We're all human. There are going to be issues in
Mhm.
any organization, but at the end of the day, we're a faith-based organization,
Mhm.
2 different, now 3 soon to be, and all those decisions are made on the Word of God in one way or another.
Mhm.
Those core values and everything, and that foundation to build off of is definitely showing from
Yeah.
my perspective.
A foundation that can't be shaken.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
I feel like, yeah, it's just time and time again. I know there's been situations where me and Clinton, and even me and my team down there, that we've sit down. Oh man, we don't know what to do. When your faith truly has to be tested, you don't know what to do. You know, there is no answer, and you have to sit down and actually pray about it, and trust God to provide the opportunity or something along the way. And sometimes it's a no.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that faith, you know, core value we use a lot, is one that, you know, we've definitely had to use. I mean, I can give you times and times again where we had metal that we thought, well, we needed. Like, we were days out, we got customers waiting on it, and we're just hoping the stuff comes in. I mean, at this point, it was just like, hey, well, it shows up, it shows up. And if it shows up, well, guys, we got to put our big britches on and get up there and roll metal, you know, as long as it took. Kirk, I know you were out there with us.
Yes,
So, and I think that's a little bit, if you put a little skin in the game, you get a little, hey, I'm going to work a late night tonight with you. Don't worry, I got you back. We're going to do this together. And Clinton, the leader, has proven that time and time again. You know, like, hey, you know, I'm not a boss up here pointing down on you. I'm here, I'm going to take you by the arm, and we're going to do this together. And I think that's a lot of it, too, is why we're so bought in, is because of the
leadership.
The leadership.
You see the
Yeah.
actual so-called leaders leading by example. It's not just, and Clinton has been that way since, not to interrupt you too much, but
Oh, you're good.
when I was hauling buildings with Southern Premier Transport and listening to Dave Ramsey on the radio with Clinton, so he get his snowball started, and he would always say, I don't want to be a boss, I want to be a leader, I want to lead by
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
And I've seen that, and then even my time in the Army, the best leaders that I've had have been the ones that get out there and do it with you. And
Yep.
the bad ones are the ones that just, hey, go do this. And I know the Army's definition of leadership is provide purpose, direction, and motivation, and I think that crosses over into every aspect of leadership. But for sure, Clinton being out there, you being out there, late nights up in the old metal shop and little chicken house up here, like, and that's why you rose to the position you're in now, is because you put in that work, and I've seen that.
And I feel like it's a continued, there will never be a day, you know, and I struggle with this now because I'm learning about delegation. I'm learning how to, hey, you know, there's things that, look, I just don't need to be doing as much. And don't get me wrong, I'm more than willing to do it, sometimes a little too much, but I got to be able to pass that ball to somebody else whose role is designed for, and also it kind of helps them take ownership on things.
Delegate.
Yeah, and delegate, yeah. So that's been a struggle for me. I don't know how it is for you guys.
I think it's kind of funny. Our relationship right now is with me swapping over to the sales manager and taking over the sales team, and I've kind of got one foot in and one foot still in accounting. There's been times where, you know, you are a go-getter, and that's the thing. Like, being underneath you, I mean, we tell you all the time that, hey, we're not gonna follow anybody else but Jimmy, you know, and but it's funny. Now I'm kind of stepping into this role. There's times I've got you're such a go-getter. Hey Jimmy, I got this. I'm gonna handle it. You do what you need to do, and I love having a leader that's just as much involved with my roles and responsibilities, that he's willing to go do whatever he needs to do to get it done, and me having to be the one that I don't have to ask for help. Usually I'm the one that has to call off the hey, we're good, we got it, and so, but I guess let's talk about this. So Jimmy, like we said, you were off Wednesday, and just as as the person that was kind of helping run the show, me and Brandon down there kind of ran it Wednesday. Wednesday was a little bit of a crazy day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a crazy day. I think y'all do a real good job of not bothering me when I'm there. But I know, so that's when I get a phone call, I know, hey, it's probably something serious. So, yeah, we had some problems. I mean, there may have been a total of maybe like 4 problems that day, and all of them kind of were the same thing. They had all the same, kind of the same problem with them. But I think that's what's nice about a problem. You guys handled it, and the decisions y'all guys made that day, I know it felt crazy, and it felt like, golly, I can't wait for this day to end. But when I got in there the next day, I wasn't stressed. I wasn't freaking out at the house. I mean, there may have been a little bit like, oh man, there's problems. Why does there gotta be problems when I'm gone? Like there is that little bit. I think that's with anybody. But you know what? My team's got it. And I came in there the next day. Y'all gave me, y'all sat down. Y'all text me. It's like, hey, we need to have a meeting tomorrow morning. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. They're ready to fix the problem. Mm-hmm. And we get in there and we hash it out, dude. We were like, hey, we got 3 people in there. We're talking about the problems that happened the day before and what we are going to do to make it right for the future. And absolutely. That was awesome for me. That was just like, it was even more reassurance that, hey, my team's freaking got this.
Yeah, I was actually there. I got to witness some of that. I went down to borrow one of y'all's trucks to haul some shooting houses, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I think me and you stood in the yard.
We did.
And you were like, what's happening? And I think I was, if you've ever been around me and seen me stressed out or like something going on, Jimmy can tell you, and probably you can too. I start rubbing my hands through my hair. Mm-hmm. And I know my hair was just everywhere Wednesday. And part of it, so part of the stress is, the good thing about Wednesday, I know we talk, Clinton tells me this all the time, don't stress out. Like, don't stress yourself out over this. It's okay. And you even, if I knew if Jimmy was standing there right beside me, he would have been like, hey, man, don't stress over this. But
Jimmy's always cool.
Like, I hold myself to
sometimes.
I hold myself to a pretty high standard because of the company, because of what this company's done for me. I want to do such a great job for the company. And so there is a level of stress that when everything is going wrong, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And, pulling Brandon over to the side and me and him talking about the problems. But I will say the one thing that I loved about Wednesday is we communicated so well.
I was just going to say that's one thing I noticed was, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Is when I got there and was talking to you and then talking to Brandon, everybody was moving around, talking and working the problem. Yep. Nobody was just like, it's not my problem. Like some places you go work, let them figure it out. Everybody's constantly like a ping pong ball, moving around, figuring it out. And that's something I've always noticed, Jimmy, since you've been down at Yoder Metal, is the communication of your team. And I think I've told you this before offline, but the communication y'all have down there is 100%. I've never seen a place or worked in a place where it's, I know there's always hiccups because you're going to say that because you're so humble.
Yeah.
But good job on that.
Yeah.
I love seeing that.
Yeah, he does a great job leading that team, and that's kind of, we talk about that all the time, is communication. He says it all the time. When you feel like you've communicated really or over communicated, you probably have just started communicating well enough that you got your point across. And so sometimes it does feel like, just, I'll be honest, sometimes when I'm working and I hear the same thing about 5 times, I'm like, hey, I got it, Mm-hmm. But it's crucial for a team. And so with that, you've really done a good job with our team of leading us in a way that we can kind of do what we're supposed to do in those moments of crisis.
What's helped me with that, because I did go through a time where I'm like, golly, I'm so annoying. Like, man, I would hate to work for me. You know, I'm like, dude, I'm all the time. But then I got to really, and what's awesome having the leader I have, you know, like Clinton, I talked to Clinton about it. And when you over communicate, you truly, you got to start looking at it like, hey, I care enough about you that if I'm letting you know this because I care about you. And if when you start, you know, rethinking it, you know, because I do feel like the devil likes to, like, hey, make you worry, make you doubt, make you think things that are not, you know, real, not true. But when you start to, like, no, the truth is I care about this person, and I care about them enough that I'm going to hold them accountable, that I'm going to let them know that, hey, look, hey, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So that's helped me a lot, is starting to, like, think more like, hey, I care enough about you that I'm going to let you know this. And when I finally get the little, like, golly, like, that's when I know, hey, I finally got the point. Like, I've over communicated, which is what I want. I'd much rather my team, and I think Clinton will say this too, that, and I think you guys will say this, is I'd rather over communicate than under communicate. And it's just you just reap a better reward with over communicating. And I want to be known as the company that over communicates. I feel like that's a dying thing in today's world. You know, something that, and hey, don't get me wrong, dude. There's times where I think our biggest problem, which is funny about that, was communication. When we sat down and had that meeting the next day, we're like, hey, we just need to do a better job of communicating. So communication is so crucial, so crucial.
When we listed out all the problems, when we were going through all the problems, I think you had communication wrote down 3 times, and that's, you know, the cool thing about that is when that's the biggest problem, it's such an easy fix. It doesn't take any time, money, or resources to fix communication. It just takes effort.
And I like the implementation of someone comes to you with a problem. Give me 3 solutions with the problem.
Yeah.
Give me your 3 solutions.
Yeah, that's a big deal for something I'm throwing with my team is the 1-3-1 method.
It gets you engaged. It gets everybody engaged if, like, they have a voice and a say so.
Yeah. And so just to give some insight of what that system is 1 stands for define the problem. Figure out what the problem is. The 3 stands for give me 3 viable solutions. And then the last one is what is your recommendation. And so it gets your team engaged into the problem. As a leader, it's nice having them define the problem for you. It gives me insight to what they see is some solutions, and then what do they think will work the best. And as a leader, and you guys can absolutely understand this. Sometimes as you're a leader, your mind's going in 30 different directions of, oh, I got to do this, oh, I got to do that, I got to go over here and work on that. Sometimes my team, when I work that problem solution with them, I have to use like 0% of my brain to let them come up with a solution, and it's great. It's wonderful. So, let's talk about this. Let's shift gears just a second. If you were a leader that, say, you left and went to another organization and you felt like you did have a problem with some employees that kind of, when you left, nothing got done, how would you guys kind of correct that?
I would start by
identify the problem.
Yeah, identify the problem. Figure out, okay, what happened, and pull the team together, and just try to resolve it. And with my team, okay, now are we talking about a team that I have no idea, like I'm not hardly any relationship with, or the team I have now?
Like we just got hired as a manager.
Yeah, let's just
and
say
we're coming into a new managed position, don't know anybody.
Yeah, don't know anybody.
And things are just crazy.
Figuring it out, and you feel like, and the reason I want to ask this question, I think there's probably some leaders that maybe are watching this, that maybe they do feel like they're in that situation that when they're not there, nothing gets done. And I can say I've been in situations like that's a lot of pressure on the leader. And
I'd say with one, identify the problem. Well, to identify the problem, come in, of course, have a meeting, and then find out what your company, who you're working for, what just the standards are.
mm-hmm.
Is the standard being met, first of all, in every little position that's being done? If it's not, then we address that. And then you start implementing, get the guys to know you and what you expect. You could add to the standards, but,
Mm-hmm.
not take away from. But identify the standards first and find out, are those being met?
Mm-hmm.
And then why are they not? Is it just because you have a lazy employee? Is it whatever the problem is?
I got you.
I'm kind of with you there. You identify the problem. You figure out what happened, okay? And then you go further than that and you figure out, why did it happen? There's always a why to every what, and then you figure out, why did it happen? Okay, well, Joe Blow over here, blah, blah, blah. You fully diagnose it. You fully investigate. You don't ever want to go straight into the problem, start chewing people out or whatever the case is, because usually you turn back and you're like, man, that wasn't handled the correct way. I've done that. I've done that where I've chewed some people out, and I'm like, and then later I've had that feeling, and it's just, it could have been done different. So identify the problem, what and why, and then when you fully figure that out, I feel like you pull the team together. Hey, look, guys, lay it all on the line. We didn't quite meet the expectations. We didn't quite get there yesterday. This is what happened, and this is why it happened. And then what I like to do is I like to pass the ball to my team.
Mm-hmm.
What guys do you think we should do in this situation? Like you kind of do with the 131. Get them engaged. Get them to start giving some answers. And you gotta have a team. And it's hard because some people don't. You do got people out there that like to point fingers, and those are problems because you give power to somebody else over the true problem, and you can't fix the problem. But you got to figure out, okay, where the problem was, and then you got to hold that person accountable to the standard that they're not meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to, and this is crazy, it's just like what I was talking about earlier. You do it because you care. When you pull that person to the side and you say, hey, look, you kind of, here's our expectations. You were here. I expect this, and look, and you got to be understanding. You know what I mean? Got to let that guy open up, be vulnerable, but
to hit on that,
you got to hold him accountable.
To hit on that, the number one, I think the best quality or a leader truly has to have is you actually care about those you're leading, that you're in charge of. Through, I know you keep hearing me say military, that's been most of my life, but through all of the leadership that I've been through, 100% the best ones had that number one trait, that they actually cared about what was going on in my life. And that's what I love about being here is Glenn and everybody here genuinely cares about the person around them, not even just peers and then the subordinates under you.
Mm-hmm.
It's you have to care. If you don't care, people aren't going to care what you have to say.
Yep.
Like he's just here trying to make a quota. He could really care less if I'm stressed out right now, if I'm, because people have life issues going on, and that could be why the performance is subpar. They're just one of the guys, he may be having, I don't know, wife issues, kids issues, mother, dad sick, something like that. It's up to you as a leader to get to know them and generally help them figure out a problem. Start a problem-solving process for the problem that's causing them by the way they're performing at work.
Coach them. And Corey, you coach. You coach them up in that, and you truly got to have a heart for them, like you're saying. And Kirk, like, you got to care. Hey, I care enough about you, okay, that right now with what's not meeting these standards, the future is not, we don't know, but I care enough about you. I care enough about your future, and I believe in you that this is what we got to do. What's going on, man? And I feel like they will eventually, they start being vulnerable with you, opening up, letting you know, hey, look, struggling at the house, some team member XYZ, whatever, is, we got an attitude problem toward me, and I don't, so you got to care. And I'm glad you said that, because I think that is you got to have a heart for your people.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes people got to go.
Yeah.
Some people just aren't going to fit the mold that you're trying to grow in your company, business, whatever it may be. and hey, care about you, but this ain't the place for you.
Yep.
And
And
that's the decision you got to make. There is like,
and
do you
that's the
check all
flip
these boxes
side.
before you make that happen, or is it just,
Yeah.
oh, you're not listening? Bye.
That's the flip side of it. When you do care about your people so much, sometimes it does make it tough to make that call too. But you got to come to, you know, we talked before. You know, if I came in and I was the person that was not the right fit, I would rather go and see the company thrive than me just stick around and have a job. Because it's also, it's just as much as you care for that one individual, you've got all the rest of the employees to think about with morale and things. Because I know there's been times down at Yoder Metal that morale was not the best. And so there was some personnel changes, and then it feels like it kind of skyrocketed. And sometimes you have to make that call for the better of the team, and because your high performers, when their morale starts dropping, their production starts dropping too. And so sometimes you have to make that call and for the betterment of the team.
I've been a part of that with this company.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to indulge. Like Clinton let me go years ago when
Yeah.
I first started working here because 100% my fault. I was in a different headspace, and what needed to happen happened. Looking back on it, he let me go. I went and came back to him, fixed the issues I had, and he's never held it against me.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
Yeah.
So the decision needed to be made, and it actually, by him letting me go, I wouldn't be where I'm at today or have done the things I've done if it wasn't for him making that decision and letting me
Absolutely.
go. And I know he didn't want to do it 100%,
Yeah.
but
And
because he did it, it benefited my life tremendously.
with that, I know those decisions that he makes like that, he don't want to make them.
No.
He loves you, and they hurt him so much that Clinton, we know Clinton.
Yeah.
He's gonna pray about it. He's gonna pray about it a couple times, and that's where we as leaders pass that torch to him. And
Give him a
And-
recommendation, and then
yeah, 100%. And Corey, what you're saying, coaching, or what we're kind of talking about, you kind of coach those people or coach them. You coach them up or coach them out. I've heard that before. Can't remember where it was, but it was something that stuck with me. You either coach them or coach them up or coach them out. And because the ones that don't want the coaching, that truly there is a problem, like it ain't something you can fix. You went time and time again to that team member and was like, hey, here's a problem. Expectations are not there. You will coach them out the door, because then eventually it's inevitable. It's very, very clear that, hey, I don't want to be a part of this team. I'm here to get a paycheck, and that's it. And it does cut morale down very quickly. And once you get one of your overperformers, like you were talking about, Corey, you get their morale cut down, it is such a quick chain reaction that everybody's it's like night and day. And we had a situation where we let some people go over there at Yoder Metal, and and I love the people, I really, really do. I care for those people, but because we did, the morale shot straight up. And in those situations where I know Clinton struggled with that, letting these people go, some of these people, and he prayed about it and didn't know if it was the right situation because he cared about that person. Clinton cares so heavily that he's willing to give you a chance after a chance and a chance, and
but negativity is a cancer.
You're
It'll
right.
spread through. That's just people. You see it today on TV and everything else. But that just popped in my head. Think about, so when the boss is away, think about how that implements into our family lives. We're all fathers. Now, when dad's away, what are we doing at home to coach our kids, hold them to standards?
Yeah.
And when we're away, how they act. And
mean,
that's a representation of us. Because at the end of the day, when the boss is away, Clinton's away, we still represent him
Absolutely.
and this company.
And it's kind of funny. Jeremiah's actually at work with me today. My oldest son, he's out for Veterans Day, and
Should have
so
brought Bryce.
And so he's down at Yoder Metal right now. And Jimmy, when we left to come up here, I was pretty rough on him, wasn't I?
Hey, you're pretty dry, and he understands every bit of it. And I'm like, hey.
I just kind of gave him. I wouldn't say didn't go over the standard, but I remind him of what our standard is, and that's not just as a person. Like I talk to him all the time about my son. That's my last name that you wear on your back, and there's a standard that you have because you're my son, and so like I reminded him that, and very, because I left him with Lyndon down there, and I was like, hey, if Lyndon says something, it's like it comes out of my mouth, and so yes sir, yep, I got it, and I did remind him of the consequences of if I come back and hear, it reminds me of this whole conversation. I meant to look it up chapter and verse, but there's a passage, a parable in the Bible about the master that left his servants. He left one 10 talents, the other 5 and 1, and that whole story, if you've not ever read that story, is so critical when it comes to in a work environment. So when the master does go away,
are you being a good steward at the time?
Are you doing, my goal,
or are you doing bare minimum and just bearing it and just
absolutely. And the thing is, like when Jimmy's gone, and I got to be kind of step up into more of a leadership role over, in the office and stuff. I'll be honest, like it almost drives me. Like I get excited because it's like, hey, I want to do a good job. So when Jimmy comes back, hey, it's nothing but.
It's almost like Dad's gonna be proud of me.
Yeah, like I mean, it really is. I mean, not that.
Hey,
I call you Dad. That's kind of weird, but
call me whatever you want.
That's.
That's
anyway, but it is such a there's everybody down there though. It is that we just want to make sure that we're doing our job so that when that person does get back, they go, oh man, you guys did a great job, and you get that pat, and y'all do such a great job of giving that out, of like, hey guys, y'all did a great job. Like even Wednesday, even though it was complete just craziness, and there were problems, and that goes to, we're not always perfect. It's gonna happen. You being able to be like, hey guys, y'all handled it. Y'all did a great job. That's great to hear from your leader.
And like correction though, on the other end of that, I'm a big believer in praise in public and punish in private.
Yeah.
So if something good, hey, that a boy, say it in front of people, let them know, everybody hears it. But then sometimes when you do come back, there's some things that need to be corrected that wasn't done correctly. In every aspect of leadership, we're going to be in line. And you just don't want to be, as I said, praise in public, punish in private.
Absolutely.
I hate to use the word punish, but correct in private, we'll say that.
Yeah.
I do like that. I do like that a lot. And I'm probably a little too much the other way sometimes. And the one thing I think makes it easier for me to be that way is because our team is so open. They are so, I feel like, if there was a team member that, hey, I just knew I couldn't correct him in public, that, it'd destroy his self-esteem, that we pull this. But everybody is so.
Y'all's dynamic down there is unique.
It's different, dude.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy. And in doing these interviews, it's kind of, I'm trying to explain the environment to some of these people that I think are potential candidates. And like it's hard to put it into words, but it is kind of.
You just gotta experience it, man.
It's just kind of crazy. Like everybody's, it's great, but and here's kind of, we've talked a lot about what it's like leading from that purpose. We talked a little bit about what talked about that how you lead your team, and then we've also talked about when your leaders away, kind of the representation. Can we kind of talk for just a moment, just kind of end this out? Maybe we may have to reach back into some of our memories of past experiences and stuff, but that feeling of when you're maybe you were younger, and you're doing something, and you know your boss is not around. Maybe, hey, my boss told me I'm going to go do this, and I'll be gone for about an hour. And that feeling of that boss coming back, and you've really not accomplished anything, or maybe you're scrambling. You go, oh, I got 15 minutes before he's supposed to be back, or she's supposed to be back, and trying to figure that out. Can we talk about that feeling?
I mean, I don't know if this is where you want to go with, but what about that feeling? I kind of, since I've been thinking about the topic, everything's coming together, and I keep thinking about, all right, the same thing we're talking about is our leaders away right now, the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing with our time now?
Yeah.
And when's he going to come back? We don't know when he's coming
Yeah.
back. So what are we doing now with our day-to-day lives and our time that we have on this earth with our families, with our co-workers, able to work for the leaders?
Mm-hmm.
It's like telling your kids, like going back to the kids thing. I tell my
Mm-hmm.
kids all the time, well, you went around, I was like, the Lord sees you.
Yeah.
You don't think he's seen that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think it's something we forget as adults
sometimes. Yeah.
quite much. I know I do. And just sitting here talking about when you said that, just went,
Yeah.
clicked. I was like, oh man, got some work to do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
With that being said, man, and I know I have been in a scramble, and I can think more like, yeah, those days where boss man's gone, and for a couple of hours and or a day, and I didn't quite get the stuff. They didn't quite get my task, done, and it's just a feeling of just. With me, I think us all as men, we kind of have this same feeling. I feel like if you do care, and I'm not saying that about me, but I do feel like this is a common thing. I feel like we just beat ourselves up, man. We're just like, golly, we're such a piece of garbage. Like, I didn't get this done, and my leader, I let him down, and saying that, I do think when you feel that way, I feel like that your intention may have been. I know, having the leader we've had, I've had that situation. I've had that happen to me where I just didn't quite meet those expectations. I fell short, and my leader approached me, and be like, hey, and had grace.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, okay, I understand. It's what we got to do to make it right. It's what we got to do to fix it. Okay, what's going on? And he does. I feel like he does a pretty good job diagnosing the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's how you know you're in a good place. When you actually feel like that, like that tells your leader, boss, however you want to put it, that you actually care enough about what he thinks and what he told you that it's affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know that about guys under you when the same situation happens to them. It's showing that they care and you care. That's a good relationship.
I keep hearing that word care, and I think that is probably
it's a big one.
Everything.
Yeah.
For a lot.
I truly think it is, because I mean, let's just get down to it. I mean, with the leader being away, the boss being away, at the end of the day, it does come down personally to, do you care? Do you care about doing a good job? Do you care about the company? Do you care about what you're doing? Do you care about every aspect of your life enough to, and listen, there are some people, I've been in jobs, okay, that really I didn't have a purpose in that job, and I was just working it to make a paycheck and make a living. That's okay. But where it really comes down to, and this is something that I really wanted to highlight earlier, but I just didn't. Back to what you're saying, at the end of the day, the biggest standard I hold in my life is not how good of a job I do for Clinton, how good of a job I do for Jimmy, how good of a job I do for Raymond, like in the company. The biggest deal is my standard that God holds me to.
What's that verse that everything you do
Oh yeah, doing
and
to worship to the Lord.
Yeah.
And so when you have that standard, when you have that outlook, it doesn't matter if I'm interacting with the lady at the Dollar General checking me out. It doesn't. Everything I'm doing is supposed to be worship unto the Lord. And so, yeah, the boss may not see you. And Jimmy, I know I'll wrap myself out. There's been times that hey, I know Jimmy is going to do something, and I may get done with the task. Hey, I may look at Facebook a minute, and then all of a sudden Jimmy walks to the door, and it's like I sling my phone across the room. And so, and Jimmy, you do a great job where you're like, hey man, you're fine.
Like I didn't even see it.
Yeah, he does. He makes you feel like you're like super sneaky, but I know he sees it.
I think we could say that caring produces fruits.
Yeah.
Look at everything we've talked about. Like you said, it seems like I hear care a lot, and then everything that comes with that. There's a lot of fruits behind just caring.
Yeah,
a lot.
It's huge. And that's, me and my wife have talked a lot about. She's in a situation where she loves her job, but she also sees me come home and see like how much I love my job. And she's made that comment before, like, I just wish I could be in a place like where you are. She was like, because and she'll say that like people actually care about you there, and they don't just care about me, they care about my family.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge deal.
You ever mess with her and go, what? You don't care about being a mom?
Yeah.
You don't care about? I'm just kidding.
But no, I don't mess with her very much. She scares me. She's kind of.
Just
kind of
kidding.
got that. She yelled at me the other day about
JK.
I was getting onto the baby, and she's like, "Don't talk to my baby that way."
I get that a lot.
I'm like, golly. I'm like, one day, buddy, me and you.
He's coming.
That's funny because my little boy was screaming last night, and I do this thing where I just put my finger over his mouth and I go, oh. And so when he's screaming, it's funny now.
I'm at that stage.
I look over at the wife, and she just looks at me like, "What are you doing? Stop!" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am."
Yeah. It does, but it goes back to the central theme. If you really want to take your organization to the next level, if you want to be able to leave your company, if you're a leader or a boss of your company, the head honcho, and you want your team to really be able to dial in even when you're not there, I think the central theme today is care about your team. Know that you or that your people know that you care about them, what's going on in their lives, and you're going to see a lot of fruit from it. But also, if you're an employee and you're a person that maybe, hey, I'm not the leader, I think you can be a leader in whatever spot you are in an organization or whatever you do. I think you can be the best floor sweeper that can be done. You can say that, and I'm a leader in that. That's fine. But at the end of the day, care about not only what the company's doing, what is happening in that company. Care about what your leader is thinking and what he needs done or she needs done. And then the other thing, care about what God, the standard that God's placed for you. And I think you'll see a lot of fruit from that.
Care with accountability.
Absolutely. So, gentlemen, I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Same here.
I think we're gonna have to have y'all back on when because Clinton's gonna come back and be like, "God, I missed this conversation." He's gonna have to bring us back. We have to do a little follow up on it with you two guys, because y'all did great today. But once again, thank you for watching another episode of Yoders Talk. I'm so excited. Please like, share, follow us on Facebook, all those accounts. Leave us a comment. Say, hey, if there's something you want to hear us talk about, leave a comment there, and we'll certainly try to get to it. We're trying to think about maybe in a future episode doing a little Q&A. So flood our channels with questions that you may have, and really, so maybe we can get a little better. But leave you with this thought: lead with purpose, and at the end of the day, if you care, everything's going to start working out for you, and eventually your team will just engage, and it doesn't matter if you're there or in a completely different state. They're going to be able to engage and get after it, and you're going to come back. You're going to be less stressed. And one of the last things I'll leave you with, one of my favorite leadership teachers, Craig Rochelle, says, when the leader gets better, everyone gets better. So we really want to honor Clinton as he's going up and getting better this week, that we truly believe that he's going to come back and make us even better. So thank you guys, and we hope you have a blessed week.